This is why I never do these off script, because I start brain farting. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Reclaiming the Sword. I am Ryan. I have for you today is an idea, all right, for the dads, okay? And I bet you're thinking kind of like me sometimes. It's like, you know, I want to get involved more with the kids and, you know, being the man that's supposed to like teach them the faith, but I don't really know a lot myself. You know, what do? Well, I have an idea for you. These here are a bunch of books about the saints. I love these books. I started reading these every night to my kids before bed, and we've gone through a good number of them already. I haven't gone through them all. And they're all by Ignatius Press and Tan Books. If you yourself just don't know that much about the saints, these books are great, not just for the kids, but for you too. I've thoroughly enjoyed reading every single one of these to the kids. They're appropriate for the kids, but they have the proper information in the stories in there to really help catechize yourself and your kids. Is it catechizing? That's proper word for this? What? I don't know. Anyway, educating. Proper education about the saints for the kids and yourself too. Some of the ones that, right now we're on St. Paul the Apostle. All right, this one's pretty good too. Well, they're all pretty good, but like I've said, this is the one we're on right now. I do have some of my favorites. We have gone through all the Ignatius Press ones. Right now we're on all the Tan book ones. But some of my favorite ones that we've read so far, I like the Ignatius Press ones a little bit better than the Tan book ones. But I guarantee you're going to end up liking some of these stories. This one right here, Saint Jose, was a boy Cristero martyr. I really like this one because, one, I knew somewhat about the Christian persecution in Mexico in the early 20th century. I had a book when I was in Korea called Mexican Martyrdom. I began reading it, and see, that's the problem. And I still have the book over there somewhere. Yoink. I had this book when I was in Korea, Mexican Martyrdom. It started out really good. It was a bunch of stuff that I didn't know about, but I only got about this far because, after all, books for us grown-ups can get a little dry sometimes, and we get a little bored, and the print is very small, and there's just a lot of pages and so much information. At some point you end up setting that book down and be like, I'm going to finish that book someday, and before you know it, you end up having a bunch of books like I do, and this isn't even all my books, okay, that are mostly read, somewhat read, and very few are completely read because you just get too many and you get overwhelmed, and they're just so long, okay? So I'm an undisciplined reader in that regard, and that's why I like these ones because, I mean, let's just face it, we're kids ourselves sometimes, and sometimes kids' books are the best way to explain things to us. That's why we like Cliff Notes too. But the story of Saint Jose is definitely by far my favorite one. The bravery from this young man and the bravery of the Cristeros during that time. I mean, this is true Catholicism right here. This is the legit Catholicism, the kind of Catholicism that we all should strive to have and be and want to die for. And that's why I really like this one. Let's see, we've gone through St. Joan of Arc. My daughter really loves St. Joan of Arc. St. Pius X. This was also a favorite of mine. Not just because I go to SSPX and calm down. Calm down. I'll do a video about SSPX later. Just don't freak out at me, okay? All right? Okay. Just chill. But I can see why there's so much love and admiration for St. Pius X after learning about him in these stories. And what a great pope he was. Definitely think he's one of my favorite popes now after reading that one. St. Philip Neri was also really good, like that one. I've always loved St. Thomas More. Definitely the kind of martyr that you want to teach your kids about. Somebody who's unafraid and humble and studious too. The kind of person that we all strive to be, and we hope our kids can be. Saint Dominic tells you the story of how we got the rosary that we know today. These were all great. We went through these ones real fast. It's been like every night you can go through like 2 or 3 chapters a night, and you're not going to get bored of it. You're going to want to know what happens next. The Tan Book ones, which is, they have a lot more. I think this small stack here is all that is from Ignatius Press. They got a lot more books. These ones are just as good too, but they're also a little bit thinner. They leave out some important details, I think. We did with St. Rose of Lima. There's definitely some stuff they leave out from this book. And you could tell because, I mean, look at that. It's real small. It should be just a little bit thicker, probably like this one. You know? They definitely leave out some details of St. Rose of Lima, but they get the important stuff. And at the end of the day, you feel good about learning about the saints, and you get stuff out of the messages that come from these stories, and you know your kids are too. Great for homeschoolers too, by the way. So if you're a homeschooling family, dads, we don't really get to help homeschool that much, you know, because we have our own jobs and mom pretty much takes care of 99.9% of it, right? But we want to get involved, and a good way to get involved is to read these books to them. We all know that Lent is coming up soon, and that's another one for us guys. Lent comes and it's a hard thing to choose. What am I going to choose to mortify myself? Am I going to pray more? Am I going to give up something? Well, I would say this is a great Lenten challenge right here. Get some of these books and start reading about the saints to your kids. You are going to get stuff out of these books, and so will your children, and you're going to feel better about it. You're going to feel like you're a part of their education, their Catholic education, and it is a good idea for a Lenten challenge. You know, I'm going to read the saints to my children, and I'm going to learn about the saints. There is stuff out there for us to use to be a part of our kids' Catholic education. Oh, if I can, which I'm sure I can, which I'm sure I'll be able to figure it out, I'll put a little link in the description to these publishers that go straight to these kids' books here. I don't get anything from advertising for Ignatius Press or Tan Books. Small channel, I don't get anything. So I'll just do this for fun. And if you are one of them guys that are like, well, Ryan, I don't have kids. That's okay too, because, you know, like I said before, those big books can sometimes get a little overwhelming for guys like us. Just because they're for kids doesn't mean that you can't read them, okay? If you don't have kids, hey, I still suggest that you give these books a shot because they will open up a doorway for you, just like St. Jose did for me. It just reopened up all this interest that I had in the Cristero Wars that I just didn't get to when I was reading this book. And now that I went through it, it's like I have such a love and admiration for the men and women that were a part of the Cristiada, that were part of the Cristero War. I'm not going to say the other one because I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Oh man, I admire them so much, and I want to know more about them because I read this kids book. Don't sell yourself short, guys. You know, read to your kids. Your kids love it. They get so much out of having their father teach them things that, you know, let kids think that we know everything. If you start reading these books to them, they're just going to come to you more and more, you know, yeah, read me more of that book. So that's all I got for you guys today. Go ahead and like this video if you like it. Share it with somebody if you want to share it or not. No skin off my teeth, it's fine. But make sure you're reading to your kids. All right, guys? And I'll see you next time on Reclaiming the Sword.
Media Vita.